Welcome, this is Allied Placement 3 on the John Roberts Gaming channel. Let's get right to it. So, thank you for watching and I hope you enjoy.
Alright, Soviet Union. 8 infantry. So here he's got 8, 10, 14, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Alright, so then I'm going to put everything into West Russia. I should be able to hold that afterwards. Should be able to. We'll find out. Well, we have to look out for this, though. These 8 tanks. What if we do this, like this? Now in West Russia we need... No, we're not going to be able to do that. Forget that. Forget that. So let's give it one more infantry, make sure we get it. Do the same thing here. Okay. May the dice gods be with us. Unlikely. Unlikely. Well, let's give you one more infantry then. Okay.
United Kingdom. Round 4. Germany's round 4 was 6 artillery, 5 infantry, and 8 points of damage. He took Archangel, he took Egypt, took Caucasus. Alright, bomber in Italy. Put his fighters in Libya. It's very interesting that he put his fighters down here in Libya where they get very little range. So they can't reach any of my naval units in any of these sea zones. Paris moved in any aircraft into Germany. Some units to Belarusia. Stacked up Belarusia pretty well. 2 units to Poland. Immobilized all the units. 2 units out of Karelia. Alright, I think I want to take Karelia with the United Kingdom. But before I do that, I have 34 IPCs. If I get 1 transport... Alright, that'll do nicely. 7 infantry, 1 tank, 1 transport. Alright, we'll attempt to take Karelia with the units here in the United Kingdom. Bomb Germany. Might as well bring the 2 fighters. I was looking at this before. He doesn't really have a threat on India, so I don't really have to worry about it. I think I'm going to use a tank. Use a tank there and 3 infantry, 2 fighters. We use a fighter to take that transport out. Alright. May the dice gods be with us. That looks good. I'm gonna move the fleet into C-Zone 5, of course. Defend those transports. And I guess I'm gonna have to use the American fleet to defend my UK transport that I just produced. I didn't really think about that, but it'll be fine. Move a fighter to Iceland. 2 fighters in C-Zone 5. Instead of landing the fighter in Iceland, let's land the fighter in Finland. We'll leave the artillery to block the tank. Do we need to block that tank? We don't need to block that tank. We don't need to block anything here either. Well, let's just leave it there. The aircraft back to India. Alright. So if I put this transport in C-Zone 7, I could put a destroyer and an aircraft carrier with the 2 aircraft there, or I could just put a destroyer and a battleship. I guess that's fine, C-Zone 7. Let's get the tank and the 2 infantry to India, and the rest will go into UK. Send it over to Japan. USA, round 4. We have 94 IPC, so we'll have to figure out what we'll do with that. Alright, let's review. Japan with 8 infantry, 1 transport, 1 destroyer. Interesting purchase on the destroyer. Free land, free land. Free land. Took Eastern Australia. Burma. I got my submarine. I guess I left a submarine here. I didn't notice there was a destroyer or something. I moved the fleet to C-Zone 45. The bomber. Evenki National Okrug. 1 infantry to Xinjiang, 3 tanks to Sichuan, 3 fighters to Kwangtung. Mobilized his units all over the place. Transport, infantry, 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 destroyer. The United States. I think I'm going to get an industrial complex with the United States. It makes sense with all the extra dough that I have that I can't really spend. Also, it will allow me to pump out 2 units from Norway next round when I won't have any land units to ferry over. Get a destroyer. It's 3 transports. 3 infantry and 3 artillery. 4 infantry, 2 artillery. We could purchase a fighter. We could purchase 2 fighters. So we'll save 10 IPCs. See if we can grab Kazakh. Kazakh is an important region to control. Let's see if the US can pick that off. Go on a bombing run. 2 bombers, I'll likely lose 1. I think those are my only assaults. May the dice gods be with us. Alright, excellent. No problems, no problems. I'll put the bombers up in Finland. Move these units over. Now I want to bring more units to Finland. I was thinking about sending them down to Africa. I gotta send something down to Africa. But I'll do that next round. These 2 infantry up to Finland. Bring these 2 transports back. Need the battleship and destroyers. I'm gonna leave the aircraft carrier and 1 destroyer in C-Zone 10 just for now. I may be able to use them next round for something else, for a different operation other than Finland. But 1 battleship and 2 destroyers should be plenty against 1 bomber. That looks good. Put the complex in Finland. 2 fighters, the destroyer, all of it out of Washington. Let's send it over to Soviet Union. Soviet Union, it's round 5, 4 infantry and a tank. Don't really have much dough. One infantry to West Russia. Let's see, 2 infantry there and 2 infantry there. I only have 1 fighter. Gonna actually use a tank to take Ukraine to block his 14 tanks from taking back Caucasus. And then in Caucasus, don't need the fighter. Just send these 2 tanks instead. We'll send the fighter up to Archangel. I like it. May the dice gods be with us. Okay, put the fighter back in Moscow. Let's get an infantry to block Novosibirsk. These tanks should be safe here, so it looks good. Mobilize it all out of Moscow. I forgot about this sub. Oh well. Let's see it, Germany. United Kingdom, round 5. What's up in Germany? 2 fighters, 2 infantry, and a tank. That's a very unique purchase. Moved down to Anglo-Egypt, stacked up Ukraine pretty heavily. Took Transjordan. Alright, moved an anti-aircraft gun. Moved some units into Germany, 5 units to Poland. Put the 7 fighters in Egypt. I understand that he wants to protect this industrial complex that he put here, but these fighters just really don't have too much range from Egypt, do they? Has a bomber in Italy. Alright, the industrial complex, 2 fighters, infantry, tank. So United Kingdom, he has no threat on India, does he? There's 1 transport here. We'll try to take Burma, of course. He has a large stack here in Ukraine, but I think he will be able to hold Moscow, so I'm not too concerned with that at the moment. Well, we could get 8 infantry and 1 artillery. Alright. So the UK is just going to take some free land here in Europe, because it's here for the taking. So let's do it. Sacrifice an artillery. And the transports can certainly be used for France and Northwest Europe. Let us not forget Burma. Use 2 infantry, make sure we get it. I could take this transport with the bomber, but then I'd have to land in Australia. I'm gonna go on a bombing run. Can only get a maximum of 4, but that's okay. And the 2 fighters will secure Burma. Okay. A lot of soft captures. 2 bombing runs. May the dice gods be with us. Good round. I consider that a good round. Put the bomber up in Finland. Let's get this fleet over to defend the transports. The tank is going into Moscow. The fighter here in Finland is going to go into Moscow. These 2 fighters back into India. This bomber, put you back in India as well. Let's put an infantry in Persia. Alright. And then we mobilize. The artillery is going to go in the UK. 3 infantry will go in India. The remainder in UK. Alright. Japan. Let's see it. USA, USA. This is round 5. Let's see Japan's. Round 5, 3 tanks, 1 fighter, 1 industrial complex. Took Hawaii, so we're gonna have to secure the defensive San Francisco here. This is either a good thing that he did this and diverted himself towards the western United States, or it's better for him to divert my US troops. I don't know, I didn't see this last round, so I didn't put any units in San Francisco. If I had looked at it and saw it as a possibility, I would have put a couple of units here, but now I need, we count the bombardment, 8. So I'm going to want to put 8 infantry in here, and I'm going to want to put at least 1 of these fighters. I might even put 9 infantry in here, so it's going to be costly. Kazakh. Alright, moved some units to Xinjiang, 3 infantry to Anhui. Moved his fleet to 53, of course. A contingent over to 51, and a unit over to 51, and a bomber to Wake Island. The industrial complex in Kangsu. Oh, so he has 2 industrial complexes now, I see that, okay. Fighter, 3 tanks. So this is kind of good, because I don't see him being able to support 2 industrial complexes and all these transports. So he's going to start like kind of splitting himself up here. I think that's kind of good for me. The United States has some dough, and I would like to get 2 tanks for, well, let's see here, let's see. Well, let's just get, yeah, we'll just buy straight infantry with the United States, that sounds good. Alright, USA, don't know if you have much in the way of tax. We can make a landing in Africa. Just like that. We have 3 fighters and 2 bombers. Is there something interesting we can do? Doesn't seem to be. We'll risk another bombing raid, I suppose. 2 bombers is always risky in this game. Seems when you send multiple bombers, you're almost guaranteed to lose 1. Alright, dice gods. Let's see it. Alright, we didn't lose a bomber, but I would expect more than 3. You know, at least 4, dare I say 5 or 6. But it is what it is. Put the bombers in Karelia. This tank, I'm going to stick the tank in Archangel. Bring over the artillery and the infantry into Karelia. Send the transport back. These, well no, only 1 transport's going. We have 2 infantry. And that's it. Send a battleship down here with the 2 destroyers. Again, I'm going to leave this contingent here. We don't really need much defense up here in C-Zone 3. I think that's C-Zone 3, I can't see. Get more units down here into 13, maybe. See which way the wind blows. Get a fighter over to Western. Send one up to Canada. Alright. Mobilize. 17 units. Let's put 2 in Finland. 10 in Western. And the rest, 5 in Eastern. And send it over to the Soviet Union. So for the Soviet Union, that looks like the buy. 6 infantry. 1 tank. Let's do it. It's a little bit of free land. Let's grab it. We're obviously not taking Ukraine, but we can go for Kazakh. Just like that. Alright. May the dice gods be with us. Alright, we got that. Bring this sub into the Pacific. Keep him honest. Let's get these units out of Karelia. Let's see about stacking up Kazakh. One more infantry, the 2 artillery. We can leave all these units right where they are. Looks good. Put everything out of Moscow. And let's see what Germany's response is to that. Okay, UK, round 6. What did the Germans do? 1 fighter, 4 tanks. Repaired 2 points of damage here in Egypt. They took more of Africa. This is a problem. Caucasus, South Africa, East Africa, Rhodesia, Belarusia, West Russia, and Baltic. Northwest Europe, France, Persia. Failed in Persia. He was pretty busy, huh? So I might have made a slight error by putting everything in Kazakh. I wasn't really thinking about these 14 tanks that he had here. Had I left these units here, I might have been able to make an assault on West Russia and taken out this. But this is pretty hefty too, so I might not have been able to do that anyway. But I have plenty to hold, so we will do that. Right, he's got, with all these tanks, we'll just say he's got 30 here, 38 he can come in with, 10, 31, 34, 35, 36, 41, plus all the fighters we have here. I think we'll be fine. I am almost tempted to do a 1-2 punch on Germany. It's a 50-50 shot. He moved his units around, of course. Northwest, anti-aircraft to West Russia, and all the aircraft to Ukraine. His mobilization, 2 tanks, and 2 tanks and a fighter. So for the United Kingdom, tank, 2 infantry. What's the situation here? The 3 transports. So that looks good. 6 infantry, 1 artillery, 1 tank, 1 fighter. I'm tempted to use all my aircraft, my United Kingdom aircraft and my United States aircraft, to hit Ukraine, but his hitbacks would be pretty gnarly. I don't know if it's worth it. Let me ask you, the viewers, what would you do? I don't think I'm going to do it. As far as I could see, it would cost quite a lot, and I might not do all that much damage. We also can't send the UK to Sea Zone 5. He's got too many aircraft. Let's hit northwest. We only send 1 fighter. Here we'll take some free land. Go on a bombing run. I like the idea of that. Alright, looks good. May the dice gods be with us. Alright, I'm going to put the bomber in Moscow. Fighter in Iceland. I'm going to put these 2 fighters in Moscow. I have a bomber here. He's not threatening. Okay. Let us mobilize the tank, the 2 infantry, a fighter, and the land units. And we'll send it over to Japan. So it may have been a mistake to not leave this stack of units here in Kazakh, here in Caucasus, I did realize he was going to stack this up. I don't know. I don't think I would have been able to take this stack out anyway, even if they were all over here, so maybe it doesn't make a difference. I just wanted to kind of keep his Japanese forces back a bit. The United States, I can get some more transports. Let's get the 2 tanks for Finland. 7 infantry, 1 artillery, 1 tank, 1 transport. I want to go for this one here, Belarusia. I want to stop him from being able to reinforce this West Russia stack. Use that aircraft right there. We have these 3 fighters as well. I keep looking at these aircraft. He left them with no ground units to defend them, but there's just so many fighters here that without 1 or 2 ground units myself to go in, I don't know. I feel like it would be too costly, but he did just leave them all just sitting right here, not even 1 infantry. I would want at least 1 infantry there. It is tempting to march east in North Africa. Okay. May the dice gods be with us. I'm gonna put the bombers in Moscow. These 2 fighters, yes, these 2 fighters will also go into Moscow with the tank. These transports can go to C-Zone 10. Bring back this transport right here as well. These 2 infantry to Finland. Use 1 transport there. Land a couple fighters up in C-Zone 3. So we got the new transport. Put a tank up in Norway, and we can put an infantry there as well. All the rest go in Washington. We'll send it over to the Soviet Union.
So I think it's interesting that this player decided to keep his air force in Africa and then kind of went east with his Japanese forces. And because of those 2 factors, I feel that despite the bad starts, that the Allies are in quite a good position at round 7. So please join us for Soviet Union round 7, which is where we will start off in episode 3 of Allied Placement 3. And if you're enjoying this video, please like, please share, please subscribe. And as always, thank you for watching.